That's right, guys. In this video, we're going to talk about the Ethereum ETF launch, which is around the corner. And because this is an algorithmic trading channel, I will show you a trading strategy that performed very well on Ethereum, and I will use it to help us figure out what to do and how to play this. And as well, we're going to compare with the Bitcoin ETF launch using the same strategy to see what it did back then and if it made money. Hint, it made money. Okay, and at the end of the video, I'm going to show you what I will do personally and how I play this. So strap in and let's go. And as always, this video is not financial advice. It's just for educational purposes and also for some entertainment, as you will see later on. And as well, none of my videos on this channel are financial advice. Most people lose their money in crypto. It's risky as hell. But that's why I make this channel, and I have a playlist that will definitely change your life. It's called Algo Trading Knowledge. Watch that and it will increase your chances of success dramatically. Okay, so make sure to subscribe, like, hit the bell to not miss out on these videos that are life-changing, like I said. And let's continue. Let's take a look at the Ethereum chart first. And as you can see here, there is an emoji pointing at the 23rd of July. That is the day when the ETF for Ethereum should go live and people can start buying it, right? And so the question is, will it pump after that or will it be a sell the news event? Okay, that is the big question. And that is what we're going to talk about today. And in order to figure this out, we have to look at historic events. And the one that comes to mind and that makes most sense to look at is what happened with Bitcoin. Now, with Bitcoin, we had the ETF approval on the 10th of January. Now, I remember that day and I will forever remember it because it's a special day for me and my wife as well. It's a sign, right? So 10th of January, right? And what happened then? Well, it's quite easy to see now in hindsight. There was a dump. The dump was not that bad, but still, it was a sell the news event, right? We actually had a dump and that dump was 17%, right? The drawdown from there to the wick was 17%. It's not the end of the world, but still, it would have been better to buy down here or around this area instead of up there, right? So who buys the launch of the ETF? Well, I think people who don't know what they're doing. Now, if we have the same thing on Ethereum, now let me go back to Ethereum, then that would mean that we have a dump here from here, no, actually from wherever the price will be on that day. Let's say it's here, right? We're going to have a dump of 17%. Well, that would be pretty bad because it's actually a lower low below this one. So that would be devastating, honestly. So some kind of, it's a very much, speculative move now, but some kind of dump towards this area here, 13% roughly, because then it coincides with this area here, which was a support resistance area, right? So roughly there, 13, 14%. Now, the question is that going to happen? And how do we play this, right? Because this is just speculation, like what about numbers, Michael? Okay, how about we use trading strategies to actually figure this out? Now, how did it work on Bitcoin? Again, back and forth. Actually, let me keep this open. I can go back and forth much faster. So how did we play this on Bitcoin? If we go back here, we had a trade open from down here until this arrow here. Okay, so made 40% and that's great, but obviously didn't buy the top or anything. That's a stupid idea. And then after the dump, right, and after people kind of got faked out and they lost money and everything, I mean, I'm sure people were longing here at the launch because, again, they don't know what they're doing. They were leveraging it and all these things. That had to be washed out, which obviously happened. And then we had room to grow. And so there was a buy signal here, and then there was a sell signal here on Bitcoin, and it made 43%. That's all great. You might know that already from watching some of my videos. But what I'm waiting for now in Ethereum is this dump and then the buy signal, okay, after the dump, okay, because that's a high confidence entry, okay? So right now on Ethereum, you can see that there is no buy signal anywhere, and might be that there is a pump coming up towards the approval or not approval, but launch of the ETF itself. Might be here, might be up there, doesn't matter. It might even go as high as this trend line here, right? And then basically it will crash from there. I don't care really, because that's all speculative, right? So what I really care about is a proper trend reversal and a buy signal from my trading strategy. Now, why do I care about this trading strategy so much? Is because this is my own trading strategy. This is how I trade. This had a 2000% profit on Ethereum so far with 50% profitable trades, 27% max drawdown, and obviously fully outperforming buy and hold or the asset itself, right? So The thing is that I don't want to speculatively buy now or short it at the launch of the ETF because it's not my style, and as well it's a high risk move. But there is one more thing that is very strange in the charts, which is that there is not such a massive pump before the ETF. What I'm also saying is there is not such a big emphasis on this ETF. So if you look at Bitcoin, right, we had a massive, expectation of the ETF coming, and that led to a lot of profits, right? And then it came and then sell the news. But if you look at Ethereum, it didn't really pump that much. Yes, sure, this is a short-term thing, but it's not the same, kind of excitement as you have seen with Bitcoin. And now comes the thing where this is my personal opinion. I mean, the whole thing is my personal opinion anyway, but who cares about the Ethereum ETF? Now, honestly, like who would buy this thing? Because Ethereum people who understand the market and why Ethereum is great, they can buy it already, okay? They can just go on chain or they can go to a centralized exchange and just buy it, okay? There is no reason to wait for the ETF, right? So who will this open doors for that can now finally buy that could not buy before? Who is that? Okay, can you tell me down in the comments? Who the hell cannot wait for this ETF to launch to finally get their hands on fake ETF ETH, basically? Okay, who is that? Like pension funds? Not really, okay? Governments, like treasuries? Not really, okay? Because why? They have Bitcoin. It's good enough, right? Like companies? Who? Like who would buy this stuff, okay? So I think, yes, there is an ETF because it's the second largest asset, but again, who cares, okay? So in my opinion, this ETF will not be as successful as the Bitcoin one because there are simply less players, institutional players, big players with money, right, that actually wait for this stuff, okay? There is one thing, okay? One silver lining, maybe, if you will. So yes, we have BlackRock, and BlackRock's CEO, right, Larry Fink, he's running around saying that everything will be tokenized and it will run on Ethereum. Of course, he will do that, right? Because he has an ETF and he wants to, Ethereum ETF coming up, right? He wants that to do well. So he will run around, try to convince people that that's the case. But honestly, the really big players with the really big money bags, they want store of value, digital gold, and no ownership, right? Like nobody owns Bitcoin, right? It's a decentralized thing. There's truly no founder that is still alive, at least, right? So it's fully different and it's something that people can understand, right? Big players can understand, they can get behind that. But Ethereum, and here I say it in the middle of the video, is not good for anything, okay? Because it's not fast, it's not cheap, it's not good for gaming, it's not good for transactions, for paying anything in real life. Like, it's not good for anything, I'm sorry, okay? And layer 2s, by the way, don't you see what is happening, right? Like, you have the traditional finance system where one bank cannot send money to another bank in another country without some intermediary to do the settlement and all this stupid shit. Now you have layer 2s, okay? Making it complicated again. Instead of being one chain, transactions, problem solved. No, now we have to have bridges and money moving on layer 2s, which have lower security, right? Then they have to be bridged back. And oh my God, okay? Don't we want to make life easier? All right? You see what I mean? Like, so layer 2s for me are like hybrid cars until we have better batteries, which is kind of happening right now. Like useless, basically, okay? Like, yes, a nice solution for now, but not forever, right? So it's not the future. And when you invest in something, especially your big money, right? Then you invest into the future, right? So that's why I'm asking you, who cares about the Ethereum ETF? Okay, anyway, back to the chart. That's my personal opinion. Back to the chart. So I think that there might not necessarily be a sell the news because there is not such a big excitement around the ETF launch yet. This might be playing out in a different way than the ETF for Bitcoin, right? Whereas here we had a dump and then we had a pump to the upside and then we had boring, basically couple of months. But okay, what do you expect in summer, right? Here, I expect that actually the ETF will have a sideways movement afterwards instead of a dump. So that's my expectation. And then once people see that the ETF actually exists and you can trade and they will try to trade it with a couple of bucks, they will then think about allocating more. And that can take a couple of weeks, right? It's not like people are just waiting to put billions into this ETF first day. Like nobody does that, okay? Nobody, especially not big money, okay? Be smart. So they will take some time to actually allocate to this ETF. And that can take, weeks or even months, right? especially not in summer, right? So my expectation is that this will be a sideways to slightly up moving market. It might break this trend line, we will see, okay? And so this is what I think will happen with Ethereum. And now let's talk about how I will play this market. If you know me at all, then you already know how I play this market. I am based on numbers, okay? So I will not buy or sell before my trading strategy tells me to do so. I've made enough mistakes trading to figure this out, okay? Have a strategy, follow the strategy, automate the strategy, okay? So what I will do is the following thing. I will take my strategy that I showed you before a little bit, and I trust this strategy, okay? So I will not prematurely buy or whatever, like or short or stuff like that. I will wait for my strategy to give a buy signal. It will be somewhere in this region here, and it will be below this trend line, okay? So all good, but this is how I play it. I have fully automated the process, by the way. If you don't know, I'm using Signum to automate. This is my automation for the Ethereum strategy that I have shown you now on the chart, Ethereum USDC with bot too fast on the 1-day chart. I have to do absolutely nothing. It's fully automatic. This is how I play every asset. It's the best way for me. It makes most of the money with least of the stress, zero work, okay, after setting up the automation, of course. This is why I'm making this channel, to open your eyes to the same possibility. The difference is when I do algo trading, then what I mean is actually trend following algorithmic trading. This is a long-term approach, okay? It doesn't trade a lot on purpose. Okay, on purpose. It solves a lot of problems this way. And if you're wondering, is there another strategy that is fully free and you can use on Ethereum? Honestly, it's quite tough to find a good strategy for Ethereum because it is very volatile, okay? You would not expect because it's the second biggest one. And it's easier actually to find a strategy for Solana, Avalanche, and so on than it is for Ethereum. But I have one strategy for you. You can find it here when you go to the indicators and then you simply search for breakout trend follower strategy. And then you have, in the same time frame as I used in the whole video, you have these numbers here. They're not as good as my strategy, but it's free. You can check it out and you can automate it with Signum. You can watch the video I will present to you at the end of this video to learn how to automate any strategy, really, but also this one. Have fun. And if you want access to the strategy that I've been using in this video, the one that I'm using personally as well, I have a masterclass which contains that strategy. But not only that, the strategy is not the most important part. The education on how to become an automation master is the most important part. It will change your life forever. Also, it shows you how to do it with Signum, how to set up everything, how to do risk management, and you get access to all three of my strategies, the ones I'm personally using as well. So if you care about that, click on apply for access and we will talk. Not everyone will be accepted because you get access to my personal knowledge, my personal strategies. So of course we have to understand each other, right? But if you get access, then congratulations to you. It's a life-changing thing. And the next video to watch is this video here on how to automate a great strategy that is free on Bitcoin, Solana, and so on using Signum. It will also already get you on the right path. So I see you in that other video. Bye-bye.